What's up, YouTube? It's NG, the WHATIMINX, and I'm back. Today I'm into the Surface Duos. No, I say duos as I have both. The first and the second. And both of them have been very good to me. So I just want to go over why I still prefer the Duo over so many other devices I've used, so many other devices that I've owned. So here is Surface Duo 1 and 2 in 2022.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
Alright, people. So here we have two of my favorite devices ever. Surface Duo 1, Surface Duo 2. Now, I didn't get the very first day. I was a little hesitant, simply because I had stuff like the LG V60. The reason I gave it up was because the V60 was having its issues it would crash, and I actually had to send it in to be repaired more than once. So I did decide to go with the Duo. Because again, very interesting form factor. The two screens, I mean, it was just really something amazing and different at the time. So I got the device. I traded in my V60, and I gotta say, I'm happy I did. I can't pull one of those I never looked back, because I still think about my V60 to this day, and I really do want to get the phone back just to have it, you know, to bring it back home. But for overall use and productivity, the Surface Duo was the best phone at the time for me. Now, if you are watching this video, you already know that I've done a lot of videos on the Duo, especially when this one first came out. I mean, I was all over it. How to do this and how to do that, tips and tricks, so many things. So feel free to go into my catalog of vids if you are new to the Duo and learn something, because there was a lot there, and I think I touched on most of it. Not all of it, because there's still a lot I'm learning till this day. But it was such an interesting device with so much you could do that I was excited to really delve deep into what the Duo had to offer, with official software, with unofficial software, getting various APKs from other devices that weren't supposed to run on the Duo, yet someone somehow made them work, getting the Gcam to work from the Pixels at the time, getting better audio. So many little tweaks did I do to this device to get it to be exactly, or almost exactly, how I wanted it to be. But with all of that, it was plagued with many bugs. It does appear that Microsoft simply didn't know how to address the issues that came with having this dual screen format. Because even though it is two screens, the device thinks it's only one screen. And it's Microsoft Magic that allows the device to open one app on one screen and the other app on the other screen, to allow you to do any two things at once. But there are times where it does run into issues and complications, and things just don't work as they should, which was always the issue with the Duo. It's the reason why a lot of people dismissed the Duo, because bugs were aplenty when it first came out. Over time, the Duo became a much better device. The Duo that you got on day one is not the Duo you have today by any means. So many of the quirks were fixed, so many of the bugs ironed out. Not to say that they're all gone. Some of them are, but there are a whole other set of bugs now, especially with the onset of Android 12L, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, the Duo, since I got this, has been in my pocket pretty much every single day, and that's been a good year plus now. I only changed from the original Duo a few months ago when I finally got a Duo 2. Now, the Duo 2 simply replaced the Duo 1 because it's an overall better experience. Better software, better hardware, the chipset, what it can do, 120 hertz refresh rate, somewhere to put the pen that will charge the pen, as opposed to the original Duo where I had to find a way to get the pen on there and things along those lines. So the Duo 2 became the next device that was always in my pocket, alongside whatever other phone I had. Because like I said, as much as I love the Duo with me every day, it's not my primary device. I've said since the first Duo, hell, since my first Fold, I've never considered the Folds, at least the Duo and my original Fold, to be a primary everyday device, though they could be. Now, I will praise this device day in and day out, and I will push people to experience what a dual screen device like the Duo, actually I think the Duo is pretty much the only one on the market right now, but push them to see what a dual screen device has to offer and how it can make their daily digital life that much easier. But that's not without its caveats. The Duo, even in this newer iteration, is still plagued with bugs. Not bugs that were on the original. They ironed out a lot of those for the most part. But with brand new ones that just come with new tech, things happen over time. But if you use it on the daily, you learn to navigate around, over, under, and through these bugs to get it to work how you want it to work for the most part. And that's why the Duo, to me, is pretty much the best productivity mobile experience I've had. And I like productivity devices. Like I said, I had the V60, I had the LG Wing, I had the Fold 3, and all of these things are very much suited to getting things done. But the Duo bested all of them, and it's weird. I prefer the Duo over the more powerful Z Fold 4. It's not that the Z Fold 4 is a bad device. It's not that the Z Fold 3 is a bad device. The Duo just did it better. As the slogan for the Duo once was, do one better. And the Duo definitely does do that if you know how to use it, if you let it shine how it's supposed to shine. Now, there are just certain things that you can do with the Duo that other phones just don't allow for. Of course, the obvious one is your two screens. Once you start to do things with two screens, there really isn't any going back. Simply because there's nothing quite like it. Now, some will say, well, with other apps like on the, I think the iPhone perhaps. I do have an iPhone. Don't use it well or that much to really know how the apps work that well on it. But other devices, yeah, you can put a phone or put an app in a smaller window while you're using some other app, and that's all well and good. But the Duo is a whole different experience because your app isn't in a window. It's a full-size app on either side, giving you all the data and information that you need to properly make the decisions you need to make. And in some cases, you can have a floating app like, let's say, me, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of tech vids. I watch a lot of do-it-yourself and how-to vids. And I can have it still in my little bottom window there. A quick example here. So I can still have stuff going. Here I have maps going. I have Spotify going. and have YouTube down in the corner there. And it's just an example that you do get a different overall experience doing something like this, because you have a full view of everything you are doing, and whatever is secondary, maybe that's a phone call or a vid chat perhaps, and you are just discussing your playlist as you navigate to your destination. No, it's just a wider, larger experience for the user. And once you start to use the Duo like that, there isn't really anything that can compare. Now, you can use your Fold and do stuff very similar. Here I have my original Z Fold. Actually, back then it wasn't even called the Z Fold. It was just called the Fold, which I think is still a much better name. I was never a fan of the Z line, but now you can have a very similar experience on the Duo line, or on the Fold line. As you can see, I do have maps open on one side, Spotify on the other, and YouTube in the middle. But the big difference is that you have more viewing area on the Duo than you do on the Fold, and it's a lot easier to get into this type of split screen and multi-view experience on the Duo than it is with the Fold. So the Duo, if you use it correctly, it really can be pretty much all you need to get through your day on a mobile device. Now, here are some examples of how I have used the Duo, things that I've done that other devices just can't do, or can't do nearly as well.
Somebody who lives in a certain area, and maybe they'll shoot some video for you or something like that, which is awesome.
It just runs smoother when you can just do the whole setup on two separate screens. Continue here, agree to that. Watch permissions, yes you do, and allow this, and agree to that, allow that. So a feature of the Duo that I personally find amazing, that I do these YouTube videos, is this right here. Yes, we all know you can run any two apps you want, one on each side, but certain apps like here, Power Director, I'm currently uploading a video, and it says, please stay in the foreground until producing is complete. On any other device, this device would be stuck on the screen. If you did leave the screen, your entire upload and production is stopped automatically. With the Duo, I'm able to keep the production going on one side while carrying on, in this case, watching news about the new Pixel Watch on the other screen, and I don't skip a beat. Yeah, so quick intermission there. Had to leave the house for a minute, get the fam some food. But even while out, the Duo was with me, and of course, when this is out in the wild, people are curious, and it's one of the few devices that actually draws attention to it. You can have a Fold, you can have an iPhone, and most people simply ignore it as that. He has an iPhone, he has a Fold. They're mainstream enough that no one really cares that much unless they're really into tech. You may ask a question here or there, but having this device out and having it open, and in this case I had the McDonald's app going and I had my Spotify going, people ask about it. Oh, what's that? Is that a iPhone? Like, how would it be an iPhone? I don't know, but is that the new Samsung phone that I also get a lot? But the main thing is, this phone, all these years later, still draws positive attention. Even those who aren't into mobile devices see it, and they are curious as to what it is, how it works, what can you do. And of course, they always say, oh, can you have Facebook and whatever else open, or Instagram, or Snapchat? And of course, you can. And it really is the only phone that has garnered that kind of attention in my day-to-day use. Till this day, 2 years after the fact, people still don't know what it is, where it's from, who makes it, and that could be something that Microsoft works on in the future. Advertising this thing to the point where the masses at least have an idea of what it is and that it is available to them. Because there hasn't been a single person that I have talked to about this phone at any sort of length that hasn't said, oh, they would love to get their hands on one, or that's something that I could use. And when I tell them how much I paid for mine, though the price I paid is not the regular price, but it is something that you could do if you hunt for it, they're really impressed. They swear it's $1,000+ phone, which brand new it still is. But the fact that it is readily available for under $500 really piques their interest. So again, if you are in the market for a device like this, if you have any interest in a Duo or a Duo 2, either of them, try it out. Use it. See how it works for you. Now, everything isn't hunky-dory, all bells and whistles when it comes to the Duo. As I said before, with the original Duo, there were bugs and such, and they ironed most of them out. And with the Duo 2, a few still persisted, but they were kind of evolutions of what was on the original. So if you knew how to work your way around those, you could use this without nary an issue. But then, and it must be addressed, they released Android 12L. Now, 12L was supposed to be the upgrade all us Duo owners and enthusiasts was looking forward to address, like I said, many of the issues the Duo had and bring it into the future, so to speak, or maybe just into the present, to be on par with all of the other devices out there. Now, 12L did come, and the initial reaction was amazing. I'm like, wow, so many new things are here for us to play with, for us to experience. But within a few hours, not even days, those bugs began to rear its ugly head. There were so many issues plaguing Android 12L. I made a whole video of stuff that I found with my daily use, and there's entire threads dedicated to all of these little bugs and what they are and what caused them, and in some cases how to fix them. So I'm not going to dwell too much on that, but here's an example of a new bug that I found just the other day. All right, people. So here's the conundrum. Surface Duo 2 Android 12L, right? We all know that this update has had some odd bugs with the device. So this morning, I see there's an update for it, 23 megs, nothing nuts. So I go to do said update, and I see that the phone doesn't want to turn back on, how it resets itself. So I look at the power, and I know it's at red, but it's saying I'm at 10%. Now here's the odd thing. I've been at 10% for the past 2 hours. Now, as you can see here, when phone is at 15%, battery saver will turn on, and it does that without question. But when you look up here, battery saver is off, indicating that the phone is not really at 10%, because it's been at 10% for the past 2 hours and nothing has changed. The power hasn't gone down, the screen hasn't dimmed. I've made a call, I watched some videos on my way to work, and there is nothing to indicate that my phone is at the level that it says it's on. But to counterpoint that, my pen will not charge. The pen will not charge if the phone is in power save mode. So when I take off the pen and put it back on, there's no light, which tells me, yeah, the phone is in power save mode. So I don't actually know how much power my phone has. So whatever happened with the little update broke the power indicator. So your guess is as good as mine as to what other kind of bugs will pop up on this thing. But overall, the Duos themselves have been very good to me. It's like I said, 2022. I've been with the Duo since 2020, 2 years, and though there are complaints to be had, I'm happy with the device. Of all the devices I have, and I have a few, I'm a little bit of a phone enthusiast, like I am an audio enthusiast, and of all of them, the Duo is the one that pretty much has never left my side. This is always the secondary, and I say that simply because, like I said before, bugs and battery life. The way I use this phone, it does not get through a full day. It just doesn't. It's dead before my workday is over. So if I don't have my portable charger with me to give it a little top up during my break or what have you, this thing is dead in the water. And for what I do on my off time, watch videos, record videos, listen to music, write scripts, edit videos, edit pictures. I try and get work done during my off time, and most of it would be done on the Duo if it didn't die as quickly. The Duo gets a lot of the office type work done, and I watch most of my videos, whether it be Hulu or Disney or whatever, on this. Even though I have a tablet and all that, the form factor allows for a much better viewing experience in almost any situation. So the Duo gets that done right off the bat. When I'm writing and when I have to write a script or I'm trying to add to one of the books I am trying to write, again, it's the Duo, because again, the form factors, the postures as Microsoft calls them, this allows for a much better experience. It's the versatility of the Duo that makes it as amazing as it is. But then when it comes to the video and audio aspects of what I like to do, and much as I would love to use the Duo, I know if I did, it would die even faster. Like right now, I have the S22 Ultra doing the recording, much better camera, that much more space. I have the same editing app on both devices, but it's easier to just transfer from here to my tablet or to my Fold for the large screen experience. It has DeX, so it's a lot easier to get into the video, to adjust and all of that from my Samsung devices as opposed to the Duo, just because of the suite of software options that Samsung has included in their devices. So I do need both devices, sometimes 3, to really get through my day, what I'm doing. But that is actually why, like I said, the Duo is not my daily primary device. It just can't handle everything that I do. The battery can't last. Now, here's something that with the Duo 2, well, this is 2, with the Duo 3, they can address the battery issue. Even if the bugs aren't completely gone, which would be ideal, you know, maybe get some pointers from Samsung and Apple about how they ship their device with minimal bugs. That would be great. But if they can address the battery issue, if this thing can become a 2-day device, like again the S22 Ultra Health, the S22 Ultra can be a 3-day device if you put it in its ultra power save mode. But if this could just be better optimized, or better optimize how it uses the power, close certain apps, power down certain things when it's not in use, because I do feel that the Duo doesn't really do that well. The Duo 3 would definitely be a main device because it does everything I want in a device. That's the crazy thing. There's nothing this phone cannot do that I need it to do. It just doesn't last the length of time I need it to last. So I guess that's the one thing it doesn't do. It doesn't last the 13-14 hour day that I have at work. And so yeah, that's pretty much it though. The Duos 1 and 2 in 2022 is still an amazing device. I got my original Duo here for the full price, $1,200, and I'm not mad. It did what it was supposed to. It lasted me that time, and it would still be in use today if I didn't get a Duo 2. That's how well these devices work. I didn't stop using it because I was just tired of it. It was so buggy. I just couldn't deal with it. No, I stopped using it because I got a better version of it. So I would implore you, if you don't have a Duo, if you've been curious about the Surface Duo line, at least look into it. If you enjoy mobile devices any at all, even you Apple users out there who may be curious as to what a dual screen device might be like and how it can help you, look into a Surface Duo. It'd be great. They can do so much for you in your daily life. You will not be disappointed, even as a secondary device. So with that said, talking about the Surface Duo 2 and the original Surface as well, can't leave this guy out. Using them, enjoying them, and just being able to get things done in a more productive way, more efficient way, that's what I'm into.